what's up you guys, this is Rob from the Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're gonna flash some receipts, serve up a little bit of tea, and toss a ring light on all of that shade, because today we are stripping down and going full disclosure when I talk about my personal involvement with Warframe. Okay, so to be completely honest with you, this is a little bit of a weird video for me to record. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna edit this. However, there's been a lot of kind of like things in the air, subject matter that's being chatted about and talked about that I feel like I need to address, and instead of going at it with someone in the comments and just kind of like having to drill them into the ground into nothing but a fine dust, and then having to rinse and repeat on someone else because for some reason, you know, there's some lemmings running around that all have the same idea. I don't know if they're from Reddit, I don't know if they're from the forums, or maybe they came from another YouTube community or something, but there's some truth that I need to kind of like impart on people. So today we're going to be talking about getting paid by DE. We're going to talk about the partner program, day one access, prime access, and getting invited to Tennocon as a VIP. Alright, so let's start things off with getting paid by DE. Now, I don't know about the other Warframe partners, but I sure as hell definitely have not collected any checks from DE when it comes to making videos for them. Alright, this I think comes from a certain part of the community that doesn't really like me because I take certain standpoints that they don't agree with. Like, maybe they don't like my standpoint on Oberon, or certain buffs, or certain nerfs, or whatever. But let me kind of put this out into the universe for you, and I'm trying to be as nice about this topic as possible, but let's get real. It takes a whole nother level of motherfucking arrogance to think that nobody else could have a different opinion from yours without getting paid. I mean, come on, you gotta be really arrogant to think that you are so right, that you are so beyond a doubt right, that there is no way that anyone could have an opinion that does not match up with yours unless they're getting paid. That's a level of cray that not even I can get on, you know? Maybe I'll call people dumbasses or idiots or something like that, but legit, I've never been so arrogant as to accuse someone of taking a different standpoint than me because they got paid. Now, there is one time that I did get paid by DE, and you know, full disclosure, because that's kind of like the title of the day, I did get paid by DE once, but it had to do with my SANDR. Now, for those of you who don't know, basically what happens is, you know, we have this agreement with Steam Workshop, and every certain amount of the cost gets paid out to us. However, the thing is, when they transfer it over to consoles, basically what ends up happening is there is no Steam Workshop for PS, you know, oh my god, PS1? I don't even know what. See, I'm so bad with consoles, I don't even know. No, Xbox One. I'm merging everything together. PS4 and Xbox One. There is no unified marketplace for all of that, so they can't have like any weird contracts with that. So basically what they do is they kind of take a guesstimate of how much you probably will make from those platforms, and then they give you a lump sum payout. So that's the only check that DE has ever sent me. The only other checks that I'm collecting are from Steam themselves, and that's, you know, let's be real with that situation. Basically, I think Steam gets the largest portion, DE gets the next largest portion, Hitsusang gets the next portion, and then I get whatever's left over. Now, I'm not going to be an ingrate about it, because, you know, I was able to design a SANDR that's in-game, so I'm super happy, and, you know, it helps pay a couple bills and keep the lights on in the apartment, so that's always nice. But legit, aside from that check from transferring the Officium onto consoles, that is the only time I have ever been paid by DE, and that's completely it. Now, with that part out of the way, let's get into what DE does give us. Now, keep in mind, this is available to all Warframe partners, so that means the channels that criticize them, the channels that absolutely love them, the channels that do endgame stuff, the channels that do fashion frame stuff. When you become a Warframe partner, you have the option to opt in to day one access. So I want to show you what day one access looks like. Basically, we get an email from the Warframe support team, and then they send us all of these items right here. As you can see, this is, to me, this is cute because I always laugh at this. They can send us a whole bunch at once, but they kind of miss Pyroclastic Flow, and they're like, oopsie, I forgot. Which is kind of, you know, it's funny because it's like, oh, they're human beings too, you know? So they basically kind of like send us all of this stuff. They, you know, give us the heads up on what's new and whatnot. But again, we don't have to cover any of this. There is no requirement of us as partners to cover new items. You can actually go onto the Warframe website itself if you want. You can, I'll toss a link down below to take a look at what the partnership details are, but there are no requirements to cover the things that are sent to us within day one access. It's just, you know, it's just kind of like their way of saying, hey, if you want to cover this, this is available to you. You know, you don't have to pay plat for it. You don't have to build it. This is actually really, really funny right here because I have the taxon. So pay attention to the fact that we got the taxon, right? And then we got those things. What ended up happening is, because they're human beings just like me and you, what ended up happening is because I was trying to do a video that day, as you can see, I rushed the taxon. Because, you know, I want to get my video out fast. So I actually went ahead, took the taxon blueprint, built it, and then like 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh, they sent the email late. Cool. So that's what day one access looks like. And as I said, it's available to all partners that basically are in the partner team. Doesn't matter what your take is, like everybody that you see that is on the Warframe partner team or whatever it is, anything that you see on the page, they have the option to opt in to day one access. Now, I do want to kind of chat about day one access because this kind of ties into the next subject. I want to cover this because before day one access ever existed, I was paying for all of my items with Prime Access Platinum. So because of the fact that I was able to pick up Prime Access, basically all of my videos were funded by that. So I picked up the item on day one with my own Platinum that I had paid for with Prime Access, and covered that. Now, day one access is absolutely amazing for us content creators because we either don't have to buy Prime Access or we can save the plat from Prime Access for other things. Now, what I actually want to go ahead and do now is let you guys in on the fact that no, we do not get Prime Access for free. We have to pay for Prime Access ourselves. I am not complaining in any way, shape, or form, but that is money out of our own pocket, and I do not want to be kind of like, what's the word I want to say? I do not want to be accused of getting shit for free that I didn't get for free, okay? I'll pay for that shit myself. That was my own money. This plat right there, DE didn't give us no plat. DE doesn't give us Forma. DE doesn't give us Platinum. We get Platinum codes for events to give to other people, but if I'm gonna be real with you, the way that I preferred handling it was handing out names, and I just hand that out to the team, and they actually distribute it directly into accounts, rather than me having to hand out codes to people, and it just gets all kinds of messy. So I don't even get plat codes from them anymore. They just kind of distribute it amongst themselves. Now, Prime Access, what I actually want to go ahead and do is show you a couple receipts, toss them up on the screen real quick, and kind of give you guys like the heads up that yeah, I pay for all of this shit myself. It is out of my own pocket. Now, the cool thing that kind of goes hand in hand with day one access and Prime Access is all of that plat that I have, anything extra either goes into Patreon giveaways. By the way, I'm sorry, Patreons, that I haven't pulled the last giveaway. I know I need to pull names. I'm very, very sorry. But, you know, we do Patreon giveaways when I remember to pull names. I'm sorry. And then we also do the big No to WeHo event at the end of last year. And actually, let's go ahead and toss up a receipt for the extra plat that I had to buy that year. Because here's the thing. I asked DE for a lot of things at the very, very end of the year because I like doing the holiday stuff. I get really into the holidays. The holidays are fun. So what ends up happening is I get really excited. I'm like, I want to do this giveaway. I want to make it bigger than last year. Let's do this. Let's do that. So I put out all these requests and I look at the requests and I'm like, that's a lot that I asked for. Like, I asked for a lot. If you guys actually look up 2016 No to WeHo video, you will see all of the things that I asked for from DE. But then on top of that, I'm like, well, you know, I'm doing this big giveaway. I gotta use some of my own money to do it. Because a part of it is also feels kind of hollow when I do like No to WeHo giveaways and I'm not contributing to it. So of course I'm like, alright, let's get some bundles out there. Let's get some skins out there. Let's do all this and let's do all that. And last year I didn't calculate my platinum right. so I actually had to buy more platinum in order to cover the cost for the No to WeHo videos. And so a part of that is kind of like, one of the benefits of having day one access, because no longer am I spending all of my plat on these items. And I'm gonna be real, when you did YouTube stuff back in the day and you wanted to get stuff out fast, and that's the thing about me, is like I want to get all the information out real fast. So back in the day, that shit came out, there was no such thing as day one access, paid the plat for it, and I'm like, got the plat from Prime Access, let's go ahead and you know, start reviewing this video, start putting forma on this weapon, and you know, get the ball rolling, you know. So that is kind of like the breakdown of what happens with the partner program. That's what happens with day one access and what happens with Prime Access. So now you know what we get, now you know what we don't get, and now you know what I do with all of the extra platinum, unless, you know, I'm spending it on like weird, because let's be real, sometimes Rob forgets to craft forma, or Rob gets too wrapped up in farming Kuva to farm forma, so sometimes I gotta buy some forma packs, or, and here's another interesting thing, sometimes we don't get everything from day one access. I know that when the Kuva Fortress stuff came out, there was like a Cyan Donna that I didn't get, so I wanted to kind of like pick that up for review as well. So I ended up picking it up. I didn't really use it, but you know, for the video, I don't know. I'm bad with money. Alright, so I know that middle bit was all a bit messy and a bit rambly, and so, you know, for the rest of this, I'm gonna try to like keep it right, keep it tight. However, I do want to drive the point home that whether you are a big Warframe YouTuber or a small Warframe YouTuber, whether you're a big Twitch caster or a small Twitch caster, we all have had the option to opt into day one access. There is like only one person that I know that hasn't opted into day one access, and I don't know why you just don't do it, Xeno. You're weird. Just opt in already. Just tell them that you want that shit so you don't have to stress about it. Now, you know, we're all, basically what it boils down to is we're all on equal footing. You know, we're all making our videos, we're all doing our grinds. The only place that things do get a little dicey and a little weird is the next topic, and that would be being invited as a VIP to Tennocon. For me, it's a little weird to talk about because I have friends that are, you know, bigger YouTubers. I have friends that are smaller YouTubers. I have people that I absolutely love that are smaller Twitch casters. I have people that were partnered but are not partnered now, both on the Twitch end and on the YouTube end. So it's kind of like a weird, touchy subject because I'm gonna be frank with you. Just like with Warframe partnership, I didn't fucking expect it. I put in my Warframe application to become a partner way back in the day when they first started their partnership program, and you know, they had their first wave of acceptances, and I like sat there and I was like, yeah, they don't want me. Yeah, they watch the videos, they don't want me. And I had to sit there and I'm like, well, you know what, integrity is the best policy. I'm just gonna continue being me and doing what I do. But they eventually ended up inviting me, and I was like, oh, thank God, thank God. And the same thing happened for Tennocon, the first round. And you know, a part of me was like, yeah, I'm not gonna invite you. You're a controversial figure. People don't like you, you know, like, what do we do? And I definitely did not expect it when they invited me that first time. And to be honest with you too, it was nice because back in the day I was working for L'Oreal and I had all of the extra money in the world. So I was kind of like, all right, well, you know, if they don't invite me, I can go, no biggie. However, this year was a little bit different. Of course, as many of you guys know, I am currently doing YouTube full-time and covering Warframe on a daily basis and all of that. And I was like, all right, well, you know, there are all these new kids, and, you know, we made some jokes last year that I thought was funny and the audience thought was funny, but a small segment of our community who thinks that they're bigger than they are decided was inappropriate, even though, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about balls on a dildo. I don't know about y'all. But after that, I was kind of like, yeah, there's a lot of new blood. The partnership program is pretty big now. They're not going to invite you, Rob. And then they invited me again, which was absolutely amazing because there was no way that I was going to be able to make it to Tennocon without their support. And I'm going to put this out to my fellow YouTubers in the community, or not even YouTubers, but like Twitch people as well. Just everybody who's a partner, is if somebody who was invited last year doesn't even think that they're gonna make it in this year, I think it's a good sign that maybe we need to stay humble and not expect to have things doled out to us. Because I was there. I mean, I've been a veteran. I've been putting out videos almost as long ago as Mogamu was putting out videos. So, you know, for me, who's been in this game for a really long time, who's producing daily content for Warframe, if I don't even expect to get invited to Tennocon myself, I would highly suggest that, you know, we take it down a notch. Let's not expect anything. Let's just not put our heads down, but keep our heads down, do our work, put out the best stuff that we possibly can, and, you know, cross our fingers that DE takes notice and that, you know, you get invited next time around. And I don't mean to, like, flash that in anybody's face like, ooh, I'm a returning VIP guest. I'm just extremely humbled at the fact that I have the opportunity to participate in something so absolutely amazing. It's like, if you've never been and you're going this year, your first time, oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. I cannot even wait. If you're thinking about going and, you know, you have the opportunity to go, you have the extra funds to go, it'll be fun, and come find me. I will make it fun for you. Now, the one thing that I kind of do want to, you know, full disclosure, let's talk about all of the stuff. So basically what ends up happening is DE pays for my flights, and DE pays for my room for the event. Now, here's the thing. I pay for the flight, they pay for the event, they also pay for travel to and from the hotel to the airport, yada yada yada. But they don't pay for anything else. So food at the airport, food from the day before, food the day after, that's all on you. Anything else that you want to purchase, that's all on you as well. If you want to stay extra days, that's all on you as well. It's basically, you know, just flight in, flight out, hotel stay for the time period of Tennocon. Everything else is all on you. But don't think that's cheap though. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So there are caveats to being a Tennocon VIP, and I kind of want to cover that for you right now. This is from the email, and I have been given the thumbs up to, like, talk about this kind of stuff. So just so that you guys know, I'm not violating anything. We're just going over the realness. Accepting this invitation means that you are comfortable participating in any and all of the offers above, which included the panel, live stream, the autograph tables, and the VIP brunch. All of those appearances are covered. So they expect you to participate in any/all of those events. So a part of me is like, all right, this is, even though it's a fun day, it's a work day. It's a fun working day. And that's the way that I kind of think about it is, all right, your ass needs to get up in the morning. You need to make sure to have taken care of yourself the night before, even though y'all know last year I was getting some drink on last year. But my motto for that, because I worked at L'Oreal and we do events as well, is if you gonna get turned up the night before, the next morning you better look flawless. And that's what I do. You know, get up in the morning, put on your full face of makeup, get dressed up real nice, make sure that you don't look like an absolute scrub, come in and have an amazing attitude, because the thing is, you're brought in as a VIP, and I don't know everybody else's mentality about how they conduct themselves when it comes to these kinds of events, but for me, I'm there for my audience. That's the way that I feel like DE has kind of like chosen us, because as you can see, like in the past, we've had what, Mogamu, Tactical Potato, DK, and me. So that was like the first round of YouTubers. Now we have Mogamu, DK, Headshot, Brozime, Xenogalleon, Laws, Hydroxate, and me. We all have like very, very wide, broad communities. We're all from very different parts of the Warframe YouTube world. Of course, there are also streamers, but you know, I'm just talking about the YouTube end. I'm just talking about what I know. So we're all from different parts of the community, and we all bring in certain parts of the community. So for me, I am there for my people. I'm like, listen, you want to come say hi? Please, if you go to the VIP brunch and you are one of my peeps, come up to me, say hi, socialize, talk, chat. And that's the thing, like, a lot of people don't get that maybe the night before I've been drinking and maybe I'm a little bit, you know, hungover. But nobody's gonna know that, because I'm gonna be there with a big smile on my face. I'm gonna be ready to interact with my viewers. I'm gonna be there to interact with the community. And I'm excited to do it, even if I did feel like my stomach was going to turn after that first mimosa. Just putting that out there into the universe. I wanted to eat more of the bread pudding, but I definitely couldn't because of all of the Black Label rum I had the night before. But nobody would have known because it is a working day. So I am there, you know, to partake in all of the things that we are partaking in. And in addition, like, if you see me out, you know, there's a lot of things that happened at Tennocon. Like, I was doing a lot of autograph signings before the autograph signing tables, taking a lot of pictures, chatting with a lot of viewers, and you have to basically be on. I don't know if everybody else is going to be on, but it's almost kind of like a live stream. You know what I mean? You don't want to have a live stream where you're just sitting there like really bland and really boring and not paying attention to chat. You want to interact with your people. I'm there as a VIP to interact with people. At least that's the narrative that I've made up in my mind. Is like, I want to make sure to chat with everybody and talk with all of my peoples and give out hugs and do all of that kind of stuff. And it's really weird because I don't experience that anywhere else but Tennocon. It's kind of like you go there and like that's part of your work. It's like the nice part of your comment sections, but in real life. And a lot of people would say that that's not work. However, I'm lucky enough to be working on the things that I love. And that's kind of what I think that Tennocon embodies to me is, yes, I am there as a VIP, but I'm also there working, but I'm also there loving what I do as a job. So I guess that's kind of like my stance on Tennocon VIP. I know that, again, I've gotten really rambly, but basically, to me, it's a work day. It's a very, very fun work day, but you know, kind of, if anybody's ever been a live streamer, you just kind of like, I'm exhausted. I want to just, like, I'm done being entertaining. However, the only thing is, it's Tennocon, it's live, there are people watching you left, right, and center. You always have to be on. And I love it, but it's definitely a drain. I know that last year after I was done with the whole event, I was like, I need an hour, you guys. Ran back up to my room, wiped off my makeup, took a nap for like half an hour, put all of the makeup back on, and went to dinner. That's kind of how all of that breaks down. Plus, on top of that, you know, we post, if the internet's good enough, we post on social media. I'm hoping Periscope, I'll be able to kind of like Periscope some stuff from there. And at the same time, we do vlogs. So all of that is like constantly, even though it's fun work, it's still work. It just so happens that we get to kind of work in a place that we love. Does that make sense? I rambled again. Sorry. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, I'm gonna snatch a couple ideas from that dark cloud that's been looming and throwing shade all up on everything. We're gonna toss a big old spotlight on that real quick. So as you guys know, DE has not paid me to do any videos for them whatsoever, because as you probably are aware, there are FTC guidelines that exist, and if you violate those FTC guidelines, your channel can either get sued or taken down, or bad shit can happen. And let's be real, when I depend on YouTube to put food on the table and to keep my rent paid, I'm not gonna risk that kind of shit. What DE does provide is equal footing for all of its partners. We all get the same day one access, whether you're a hypercritical channel, whether you are an endgame channel, new user channel, whether you're a fashion frame channel, we all get the same thing. So clearly, there's nothing for me to profit on in that area. But the way that I do make revenue through YouTube is through views, right? So if we're gonna break this down real quick, kissing DE's ass is not going to make me any money. You know what will make a YouTuber money? Kissing their viewers' asses. Right? Because that's how you get more views. You attract users by saying, oh yeah, you're so smart. Yeah, you're right. Your ideas are way better than DE's. I don't know what DE is even doing with their game. No. All of your backseat developing is perfect. That's exactly what we want in the game. DE needs to do exactly what you say, the way that you say it. You're completely correct. That is how you make money on YouTube. You tell the viewers what they want to hear. They want that confirmation bias. They want that reassurance that they are smart, that they are smarter than DE, that they are superior. That gives them a boost, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna keep watching this guy's video. He keeps telling me that I'm right, so I'm gonna keep watching it, I'm gonna keep supporting him, you know, or her, or whoever. Basically, what it all boils down to is kissing DE's ass isn't gonna make me any money. Kissing the viewer's ass will. And we see a lot of channels do this, you know? And I get it. If that's, and here's the thing. I'm not saying that they don't believe the things that they say, but what I am saying is, if I wanted to make money off of YouTube, it would not be by making objective reviews. As you guys know, that's what I do. I give you the realness, I capture it on camera, I always give you footage, I always talk about it, I always talk about the numbers, I talk about all the stats, and I post out the facts. I am not concerned with people's wish lists or their wants or their belief or their little dreams about what they believe should be in game. I'm like, here is what it is in game, does it work, how does it work, how well does it work, done. I'm not taking all of the suggestions from the backseat developers, I'm not that part of the community. I'm about telling you what's real, what's happening, what's now, and I ain't kissing anybody's ass to do it. And that's the thing, is a lot of, that's what really drives me crazy, is because people are saying that I'm a sellout or I'm a shill or, you know, all of this. I ain't making any extra money being a shill, okay? That's not how shills work. No, you know what is a shill? Somebody who will tell you exactly what you want to hear in order to get you to watch them. And that is not what I do on my channel. That's, in fact, for a lot of people, that's the opposite of what I should be doing if I wanted to make money on YouTube. But guess what? I have a spine, I have integrity, I have strong opinions that are formed from facts, that are completely objective, that I can give you proof from. And that's what drives me crazy, because I can put out all of the facts in the universe and be called a shill. And I'm like, no, this is the realness. No, but you don't agree with me, so you're a shill. And I'm like, I ain't getting paid to, like, say this stuff. This is the real stuff, you know? I didn't get paid to, like, sit there and, well, I didn't get paid by DE to sit there and research. I'm getting paid by my viewers. And so when people see me go off in the comments, you're like, yeah, you're being so mean, bro, you're a shill. I'm like, no, I'm doing what I feel is due diligence and letting you guys know what the realness is, even if it's at the cost of a viewer. Because my integrity is more important to me than a view. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that my channel is putting out good, true, honest content. It's not kissing anyone's ass. It's not kissing my viewers' ass, it's not kissing DE's ass. It is just letting you know what is actually existing and what is actually there. Now I get it. Some people are like, I don't get why you're not angry about this. Let's toss that concept on its head real quick. Why should I be angry about this? It's pixels on the screen. If it's really fucked up, DE will end up patching it. It's just a video game. Why do I need to be meaner? Like let's get this right. People are like saying, hey, listen, if you don't agree with me, clearly you've been paid not to agree with me, and why aren't you meaner? Bitch, I'm already real mean. I don't need to be any meaner than I need to be. But in the spirit of kind of like all of this, I wanted to kind of really create this open dialogue. If you guys have any questions about the Warframe partnership program, if you have any questions about anything that's happened in the past, put that in the comments below. I really want this to kind of like, I don't know, I guess I just want to like open up the conversation about this kind of stuff, because some of the things that are being said are really silly and they're not legit. They're not based in reality. They're just people that are angry, that are saying things, that are trying to make themselves feel more legitimate and trying to dismiss the things that I have to say, even though I got footage, even though I got numbers, even though I got stats, even though I have all of that. They want to find a way to delegitimize me, and the way that they do it is by calling me a shill. Let's just be real. I get the same thing that everybody else gets. I do get invited to Tennocon VIP, but that's work. Good work, happy work, fun work that I absolutely love, and I will love to do over and over and over again. If you guys haven't been to Tennocon, please try it out. Listen, I'm gonna try to Periscope, I'm gonna try to vlog it, so if you missed the event, it's okay. I'm gonna try to give it to you in a different way, and I'm sure, I do believe that they're gonna be live streaming, either live streaming or at least recording the panels, so that'll be, you'll get the experience one way or another. I want to share a like to everybody, but I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Hopefully that covered everything that you wanted to know. Again, if there's more things that you want to know, talk to me in the comments below. I'm a chatty person down there, maybe a little too real sometimes, but as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. And be respectful. Okay? Be respectful. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.